Bermuda's 170,000 square mile exclusive economic zone has been declared a marine mammal sanctuary by the Bermuda government as part of a symbolic agreement with the Stellwagen Bank Marine Sanctuary at the mouth of Massachusetts Bay. As whale expert Andrew Stevenson pointed out at a press conference today, it will give Bermuda's potential of becoming a leading whale-watching tourist attraction a huge boost.
I have gone whale watching all over the world. And I would say that Bermuda is actually one of the best places in the world to go whale watching. We have a very short season. The whales are migrating by. They're in here, and they're passing by in large numbers for about 6 weeks. But we have very clear waters here, and if you go up north to the feeding grounds, you cannot see the whales until they surface. Here we can see them below the surface of the water. They have white pectoral fins which show up turquoise in the clear waters of Bermuda. So you have a much better sort of sense of what the whales are doing before they surface. You can very often see them under the water when they're close to the boat, if they approach the boat. So I would say, and also it's not very far away. I mean, Dr. Ming went whale watching in Stellwagen Bank, and you have to go out a long way before you see the whales. Here you can see the whales right from shore. I have seen many whales right on the breakers. So we have great whale watching right on the shoreline, where the coral reefs come very close to the Bermuda coastline. And on top of that, we have hotspots of whales on the Bermuda platform 5-7 miles out. And then we have another hotspot on the Challenger Bank and Argus Bank, which are a bit further out. But I would say overall, Bermuda definitely has one of the best whale watching opportunities anywhere in the world.
Renowned marine scientist William Curry takes over the Bermuda Institute of Ocean Sciences at a time when the traditional sources of revenue and funding are under extreme economic pressures. But he is convinced that the quality of the research that has been coming out of the Ferry Reach Institute will hold it in good stead.
The funding trends from the federal sources like the U.S. government aren't optimistic right now. So I do think that, we need to be strategic in our ways of getting new monies. BIOS has been working with some of the other local charities that share its mission, and we're trying to do things together that are mutual benefit. And, Bermuda has a lot of really good corporate and individual sponsors of BIOS, and I'm really looking forward to working with them to help ensure BIOS's future.
That interest has not faltered at all, has it?
I don't think so.
I question the economy, really.
Yeah, I mean, the economy's faltered and it's difficult times, but the interest in BIOS still remains, I think. So,
would you say it's essential that BIOS continues its momentum?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, BIOS made a change,
from a global point of view.
BIOS made a change in its emphasis by changing its name from the Bermuda Biological Station for Research to the Bermuda Institute of Ocean Sciences. So it was, in a sense, making a commitment to broaden the types of oceanographic work that it does. I think that we need to continue to follow that path because there are so many issues in the oceans and the impact of humans on the oceans and the impact of oceans on human health, that we need to have a broad set of research goals, and that takes significant resources. So we'll be looking to broaden that base.
And our government's a friend of BIOS, has been very supportive over the years.
Yeah.
Beyond most governments' capacity, they've paid their fair share of some of the research.
Right, and a lot of the environmental quality monitoring that goes on for the government is done by BIOS.
Yes.
Air quality, water quality, those sorts of things. And, I hope to continue and keep that relationship very healthy.
Tomorrow's annual Marine Science Day at the BIOS Station at Ferry Reach occurs at an important time in the evolution of the facility. An education manager, J.P. Skinner, also known as the Mad Scientist, hopes that the event will open many eyes to the strategic importance of the island and institutions like BIOS.
I don't think we get that as an island as much, just how perfect a location we are in for studying the ocean, and that the ocean's kind of is being seen more and more as absolutely vital for the health of the planet and mitigating any problems with climate change and so on. So we've got this whole panel of scientists, some pretty amazing dynamic people from around the world who are there to answer questions, and those burning questions about climate change and what's happening to the ocean, and to do with the Sargasso Sea. Of course, all the focus on the Sargasso Sea at the moment, folks studying that. So.
And that's worldwide, some of the interests that we've got.
That's right.
Especially the pollution.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. One of the things that'll be snaking its way through the BIOS grounds is our plastic degradation timeline, and looking at all the things that are washing up on our beaches. How long do they actually take out there in the ocean to degrade? It's a study that's going on both sides of the Atlantic, around the world, and of course we're here in the middle of Sargasso, kind of at the center of this whirlpool where all the plastic accumulates. And so a lot of our students now are studying that, helping us clean up the beaches and looking at all the stuff that's washing up.
They had a recent marine cleanup just for that very reason.
That's right, yeah, KBB did their annual one.
Collected more data than they usually do.
Absolutely, yes.
Have you had any results back already?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years now of collecting information on what each high tide deposits on the beach. And the scary thing, the data is still a long way off getting something very significant, but the one thing that really jumps out at me is that with probably 100 student groups over the last 2 or 3 years, we've never cleaned a beach and found nothing. We always find plastic. Sometimes we're measuring it in kilograms, 2 or 3 trash bags worth, and sometimes a small amount.
Famous for its beaches.
Famous for its beaches, and just loaded up with plastics.
From all of us here at VSB, I'm Kristin Martinez, and have a great weekend.